What if your marriage is struggling? What if your marriage is at a place where you're not even sure that you want it? There's a part of you that wants out. There's a part of you that wants to run. There's a part of you that says, enough's enough. What are some signs that you actually can save your marriage? What are some signs that your marriage is worth saving? And in my mind, this is the most important one, because this one will the others will flow out of this one. When there is a part of you that can still see yourself being an us with them. One of the things that I always want to make sure in my marriage is that we're an us, not me, not her, but us. When us wins, we both win. Us lose, we both lose. But when you can see yourself being an us, when Luella and I in our worst time in 2004, 2005, we were emotionally very distant during this time. We both had a lot to grow through, particularly me. However, I always wanted to be an us with her, never not wanted to be. And I knew we had a lot to work through. And there were times in that 2 years time frame that we would feel an us, but we still had a lot to work through. But you want to know something? Because I still believe we can be an us and still desire to be an us, it was worth fighting for. It was worth fighting for. There was some research released a long time ago. I've never forgot it. And the data was that people who marry today don't see themselves being married when they die. They hope that they're married when they die. The generation before me, when they married, they saw themselves being married till the day they die. That's not true anymore. Young people today hope they're going to be married long term. That's the effects of divorce in the culture, you see. I came to marriage going, we're going to be together till death do us part. Why? I ain't living the way I grew up, and I love her, and I don't want to have to live my life apart from her. I told her years ago when we first got married, I said, by the way, I just want you to know something. If you ever leave me, I am going with you. All right? Divorce and separation is not an option. We're going to make this happen. And so I always saw ourselves being an us. I love it when us is in the house. When us is in the house, you feel the love, you feel the tenderness, you feel the compassion, you feel the nurturing. You see, the way you know that us is in the house is you feel it. You feel its presence, and the way you know it's not in the house is you feel its absence. When us is not in the house, you feel the angst, you feel the tension, you feel the resentment, you feel the bitterness, you feel the coldness, you feel the silence. You see, everybody knows when us is in the house because you feel its presence and you feel its absence. Your kids know when us is in the house. But in conflict, even though you may not feel us, this is important, even though you may not feel the usness, there is within you the desire to be an us. There is the desire to be the us. And because there's still the desire to be the us, that's motivation. Then I say, then since you still desire to be an us, focus on that desire and do what it starts to take to build it. Rather than operate out of the wounded part of you, operate out of the part that's still desiring. That's not living in denial, because I don't believe in denial. That's not negating how I think or feel, because we have to honor how we think and feel. Don't dishonor how you think and feel. But if you have that desire still to be in us and you see yourself still being in us, it's worth saving. It's worth saving. Sadly, and it's still true, when you can no longer see yourself being an us, when you no longer desire to be an us, when that part of you is completely gone, 100%, you're probably right. The marriage is probably over. You know, sometimes, particularly in the church world, there's that Bible verse says God hates divorce, and he does. And yet they'll use that as a justification to not divorce. Folks, let me say it this way. I hate divorce with a passion, all right? I'll do whatever I can to help couples rebuild the sense of usness. But staying married, just because God hates divorce and you don't have any love in the marriage, don't fool yourself. God's not impressed. He's impressed that there's love in the marriage, not that you don't divorce. Not divorcing means nothing. Love means everything. If you're staying married just because God hates divorce, well, that means I don't really see us being an us, and I don't want to be an us, but I'm doing it for these reasons. That's called commitment by constraint, but long term, those marriages don't make it. They just don't make it. You want a healthy, strong marriage where you can see yourself being an us and you feel that. And that's the feeling of desire and love. You see, these are the signs. These are the signs that your marriage can make it. So let me kind of run through them real quickly here. When you still have feelings of love for your partner, that's a sign. Number two, when you know you've contributed to the issues, when you know you're also part of the problem, don't throw it away. You can save the marriage. Just fix your part. If you cheated or your partner cheated, committed adultery, and found out that what you're looking for wasn't what was really over there, wasn't as green as you thought it would be, and there's a sense of regret, and you really do love your partner and want the marriage, it's a sign it can be saved. All right? When you desire your whole family, you don't want divorce because you don't want your kids to go through it. You desire being the whole, you, your spouse, and your children. Sign to save it. When you still do things together that bring back feelings of joy, that bring back moments of joy, when you still have those things that you do together, it's a sign to save it. When you can still be open and vulnerable with each other, it's a good sign to save it. When you still desire, or whatever level, to have sex with them, be intimate with them, be close to them. And lastly, when you can still see yourself being an us. Those are some signs that you can use to determine whether your marriage is worth saving.